ABR family and viewers. How are you doing? News coming in. Donald Trump, the president for the United States, has basically left 75 countries, including Jamaica, worried. Remember when I stated some of what Bruce Golding said upon playing an interview between him and Kabul? He basically stated that the Caribbean must batten down, right? So Donald Trump exercise in powers. We heard Bruce Golding even calling him a megalomaniac, right? Someone who abuses their powers. And let us just look at some of the news, breaking news that are taking place currently. So Donald Trump has gone ahead freezing US visas processing for 75 countries, including Jamaica. And I thought the last time when the US State Secretary came to Jamaica, they said that Jamaica and them are close ally. But Jamaica took it to mean that, them and US are friends. US has no friends. No friends. Them people is all about them money. All about their power. But let me call out the names of all of these countries that are affected. Afghanistan, Albania, Algeria, Antigua and Barbuda, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Bahamas, Bangladesh, Barbados. Oh, so they put Barbados on the list now. Belarus, Belize, Bhutan, Bosnia, Brazil, Burma, Cambodia. Some of them countries here are the first me I hear about them. Cameroon, Cape Verde, Colombia, Cote, Cuba, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Dominica, Egypt, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Fiji, Gambia, Georgia, Ghana, Grenada, Guatemala, Guinea, Haiti, Iran, Iraq, Jamaica, Jordan, and the list goes on. Mongolia, Morocco, Nepal, Nicaragua, Nigeria, Pakistan, Republic of Congo, Russia, Rwanda, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia. So it come like, then if it's 180 countries in the entire world, and the man put visa restriction or freeze visa processing in 75 countries, what does that tell us? Blessings everybody on the live. Big up to all the ABR members. Big up to all the moderators on the ABR, moderation. So these are some of the countries. It might look a bit back and forth. James, big up yourself. Right, so these are all the countries that have been placed on this visa application freeze. So I definitely I read from something here, so but it might look a bit back and forth because of the angle of my camera. What's it there? $75 countries out of 180. Visa application frozen by none other than the President of the United States of America. And we all have seen what has been taking place within the whole zone of peace, the Caribbean. We've seen the takedown of the Venezuelan Prime Minister and We heard the safe response that Andrew came out and gave. Him say him nah going on uncharted waters. Him nah basically take up nobody business on him head, so to speak. But then if it's happening to neighboring Caribbean countries, if it's happening to countries that are a part of the CARICOM body, then it's only a matter of time. And that's what we have always been stating. We heard from a former Prime Minister, Bruce Golding, saying that, this man even crazy. Him crazy about the power, him obsessed with the power, and him a use him power and the military forces to do all sorts of things. And he's getting backing, it seems, from the court system. Them can't really do anything to him. Whatever he's doing right now, he has immunity, so to speak. But that, we heard that he's also eyeing some Greenland area. He's also eyeing a canal over there in Panama. So everybody basically depend this man radar. Cuba, nobody not off limits. It's just a matter of time or a matter of saying who is next. That is what is going on right now. Who is next? Right? And remember, say, they have pledged or they have given a whole heap of, funds and donation to Jamaica, right? And remember the last time the US Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, visited Jamaica last year, March 26, they stated that Jamaica is a close ally and vows to visit frequently, but he is also laying out strict expectations on how the US aid, including crime fighting, tech, and skills training, must be used. So them people here, just give them money like that and you do what you want to do with it. Right? They will monitor every aspect of it. Right? They will monitor every aspect of it. And so that is what is going on. We see enough recent where the US Department of War even visited Jamaica. Right? And we seen the US Embassy basically put it out stating that, it was to basically tighten the defense between Jamaica and the US. But US does not want any friends, right? So how can it be that you and a country are friends? Jamaica claim friendship, and then put on upon visa freeze, big visa freeze. So that is what is taking place right now as it relates to that. Let us continue to keep our eyes open, keep our ears on the ground to hear what else Donald Trump will be coming with. As it relates to the school buses that the current administration under Andrew Ole stated that they have, procured with $1.4 billion. That's what they said, and so I'm quoting that. They purchased, they said, 100 old decommissioned school buses from the Americas. They have that in Jamaica now, running the rural school bus system. We heard the minister spoke out on a post-cabinet briefing earlier today stating that the students must get regularized with the cards, right? So they might use some digital system now. Cards around them buses here. So even though the fares are cheaper than the regular public transportation, it's $50 on the rural school bus program, and they're stating that if they don't have the cards, right, they won't be able to ride the bus because they're trying to phase out a cash system, right? And all of this will take full effect in February. It has started already. They are imploring the parents to register them kids. But then again, me did I say to myself, say, it's not the whole 100 buses they received. And so what's the probability if me get my child on this card system, put funds on the cards, and my child not get for ride on the bus? So you see where me I come from there, so? Versus if them did have the cash system, whosoever gets on the bus. It's not a guarantee if you have the card that child will be able to go on the bus. That's how I'm looking at it. That's how I'm seeing it. Because the bus them already crammed and overpopulated. But then, what kind of piqued my interest was that all of that digital system or card system, it seems, is being done by El Hydro. It says powered by El Hydro. So why is it that this company, who they stated brought in these buses under circumstances that are not clear even to this date to the public as to why this company, who never had any form of, importation license to import school buses, right, was even given that task? We heard the minister at one point stated that them allow them to use some government import license in order to do that. Something down that line, right? And everything was exposed via mainstream media, right? And we all saw what, occurred on the media space. I played some of those information in previous videos on previous live. But this is the same El Hydro. So we're not going to ever get away from the whole heap of nepotism, it seems, and the whole heap of cronyism. And them friends and Kumbolo businesses, them, And them friends and Kumbolo run these businesses. So why somebody else couldn't get the contract for sort out the whole card system for the students? Do you agree with the card system? We know that they have smart cards as it relates to the, JUTC, right? But we don't know about this card system here for the students, them riding these buses, knowing very well that some of them might even purchase the cards, put money on it, and still not be able to ride on the bus. It's not a guarantee. Because if them not leave out of them homes early to catch the bus, it might full by the time them for reach the bus stop. So that's the line I'm looking at it from. But I would love to hear from you in the comment section, and you can go ahead and drop that in the comment section. On the matter of the $521 million worth of contract issued by the University Hospital of the West Indies, that the Auditor General stated there were no procurement, for those contracts. So 50 odd contracts given out valuing 520 odd million. I touched on it this morning on a live, and it's not looking good any at all. We even seen information where the hospital used them tax exemption, to get in equipment and so for private companies. We're not sure if the private companies get these things, right, without any customs duty, in turn turn around and selling these things back to the hospital at a higher cost. We're not sure, but a whole heap of things in that special report by the Auditor General. And we are very sick and tired of the misuse and mismanagement of tax dollars and them breaking the procurement guidelines at the drop of a dime, right? But when it was stated that the report would have been tabled in the parliament yesterday, Many find that the CEO of the University Hospital of the West Indies, right? The CEO who sits on the board of Fitzgerald Mitchell took leave, basically. And this is the information that I have right here. So, do you find this questionable? I want to hear from you all. Do you find it questionable that this CEO, upon learning that the report would have been tabled in the parliament yesterday, took leave? Many persons find that to be. But I'm about to read it out. It says the University Hospital of the West Indies Office of the Chief Executive Officer to the heads of department, heads of division, right, from Fitzgerald Mitchell, the CEO, dated January 9th, 2026, subject absence from office. Please be advised that I will be proceeding on vacation leave effective Monday, January 12th to Tuesday, April 7, 2026. During my absence, Mr. Eric Hossin, board member, will assume the affairs of the CEO Secretariat. All queries may be submitted to the CEO's Secretariat. Kindly extend the usual courtesies to Mr. Hosing. Kindest regards. Many find this to be questionable. And we see in the Minister of Health, Christopher, ran out to basically saying that they're going to put some form of oversight committee to try as much as possible for them to basically stick to the procurement guidelines. But who remember in December 2023 when Tufton dissolved UA board over levels of dysfunctionality? Remember this saga here? So my question here, why didn't Chris Tufton dissolve this board? Is it that some of them are getting kickbacks from these contracts that are being given out and then pushing past and breaking all these procurement guidelines and procurement rules because they don't want any form of transparency and accountability? Blessing, Celine Brown, my sis. Long time no see. How you doing? Celine says this is the start of what is to come. And I'm about to read out some of this. And it stated that he dissolved this board at the time because they never want this person here to be, the CEO of the board. So it's safe to say then I'll be a friend thing agwan. And enough is enough. We are sick and tired of it. But let me read some from this 2023 article where he dissolved the UA board over what they says are dysfunctionalities. Right? A clash of personalities and dysfunctionality are the reasons for Minister Tufton to dissolve the board up by UA. Right? The action comes after the resignation of the chairman of the board, Wayne Chai Chung, who submitted his resignation effective December 4th at that time. His deputy, Dr. Andre Foote, reportedly had also resigned. We got bogged down with a number of issues that involved personalities, which became a distraction from some of the critical issues that needed to be addressed. And I wasn't convinced that we were making enough progress to resolve those issues, or at least being able to function with those issues in the mix, quoted Tufton. In an earlier statement, the minister said the resignation of the board chairman came after a series of discussions on the strategic direction of the hospital and deliberations on the way forward for critical projects, which he said Chai Chung noted he was unable to lead. He said the decision to dissolve the board was taken following a meeting with its members to discuss the way forward. So I am asking, why didn't he dissolve the board right now? With so much funds being used, right? Unaccounted for, we could say. Why didn't he? If him say clash of personalities caused them to dissolve a board before, that was in 2023, right? Why didn't this whole heap of irregularities and breaking procurement guidelines and rules, why didn't this cause him to dissolve this board also? Many questions here than answer. I would love to hear from some of you. I really want to hear from some of you. This is getting out of hand. We cannot sit down and act like this is not our business. They're spending our tax dollars. They are the ones, the Ministry of Health and Wellness are the ones who create the board for, them to oversee the running of the University Hospital of the West Indies. But the Ministry of Health is responsible. So why is it that every turn we hear them talk about procurement for, this devastation that has been caused by Hurricane Melissa, and people to this date are still outside under tarpaulins, still outside under some little makeshift structures, still outside under tents. But they constantly have persons breaking the procurement, including themselves. Why couldn't they push past the procurement in an emergency as this? But they push past it in regular times and in regular happenings. So we just have to sit down and allow them to just do as them please? The government is there to serve and to ensure that them use the taxpayers' dollars to the best of their abilities and consult us too. Them can't just take up and do what them feel like. They didn't consult us when they took up the entire cat bond fund and they loaned it to JPS, and then coming out when time we question them, the people want light. That's all they can come and say. The people want light. Not only that some of these boards or some of these persons should be removed or placed on interdiction, a whole heap of them should be fired. And we should have fired them when we went to the polls and not allow them to buy us out and not allow them to use 3,000 and 4,000 little, alcohol, beverage, or food to come and buy us out. Why is it that their friends and cumbelows must always get contracts? Why is it that they cannot declare, say them and the people, them are friends before them give out the contracts? Is it that kickback money I go to them? Is it that they're getting a cut? That's why they're constantly doing these things? And is it that we are not holding them to account? We sit down and we take everything just so with a grain of salt. It cannot be business as usual. Bless up yourself, sis Novlet. Own Jamaicans sleeping outside. But they took hundreds of millions and they leased empty buildings. Right? Yeah, hello? Yeah. No, I'm not sure. You'd have to bring it over there and then they will tell you the difference where you have to pay. They have to work it out and tell you. Yeah, man, you have a show. You can print it. You can print it and take it over there. Along with him birth certificate and stuff. Yeah, saying I send it, yeah. Yeah. You have to do it because I did that too, yeah. Mm-hmm. Sorry about that, guys. We cannot continue to let this happen. Many more things, occurrences taking place. We have a whole heap of cases that we have to keep our eyes on for this year. I think I seen. Hold on. Give me a minute, guys. What, man? I not even remember. I not even remember what me that talk about, you know. But me say, yeah, I just remember. We have some cases to watch for in this 2026 year. And I think I seen the Gleaner put it out. I can't wait for this Jolly and Silvera trial to start. Right? Because we need to get down to the bottom of this. We want to know who unalive that lady. Right? We're looking at this Noel Maitland case very closely as well. We're looking at the whole Leoda Bradshaw and co-accused case as well. We're looking at even some long-standing drug bust case and all of that. We're looking at a whole heap of cases. But now I'm seeing in the news where they're stating that a Leoda Bradshaw, right, who was accused in the murder of Minister Caldwell's daughter and her mom, was assaulted in custody. Assaulted in the Bridgeport lockup in Portmore. Right? I'm not sure. It seems as if it's some physical assault. But me can't wait for this to start as well. I need to know what is gonna come of this case here, so. What are your thoughts on all of these outstanding cases? We are also awaiting the whole SSL thing for fully kick off. They stated that the 26th of this month will be the first appearance for the latest who were arrested, the former CEO, former director, and his daughter. Right? The whole railroad case too. That needs to be wrapped up. 6 years, almost 7 years, what a case that needs to be wrapped up. Norman Hansen, big up yourself, my bro. Whole heap of things are going, and more to come. More to come. Anybody wants to chime in on the latest news of the US basically putting a halt, freezing US visa application processes in 75 countries? Anybody wants to chime in on that? The number to call is 954-288-6467. Let me see if I can go ahead and pin the number in the chat here, so. So the number is pinned in the chat. Anybody wants to call in, share your opinion on this? Sabria, big up yourself. Hmm? We heard a Bruce Golding sometime last year, and I did a piece on that article where he stated that him not frightened for elsewhere, and we know say American did attack, right? While him can say so, many other persons still wants to come to elsewhere. So what do you think of elsewhere, as he put it? Basically, freezing application process for 75 countries, and I basically listed some of those, including Jamaica. Jamaica is involved in that. So when them think say them and US are friend, them better think again. US has no friends. More than Bangarang, Sis Navlet. This are more than Bangarang. This is more than Bangarang. More than Bangarang. Trouble did there. My God. And then we see them run out to keep, National Day of Prayer. And then we heard one of the pastors them and said them should have dip on them belly and cry out to God. This long elaborate speech you talk about criminals must turn in guns and talking about is not treading into uncharted waters. The fact that Caribbean countries are being touched. The fact that Caribbean countries are being touched. No one is off limit. No country is off limit. It is equally Jamaica's business like any other country's business. And if you can, as a government, come out and state without beating behind words and beating around the bush to say, yes, I support and I stand by the international laws, then it is telling. It is very telling. And so if you're not on the right side of the law, then the big bad, the great US is gonna act. So all of them mix up in a corruption and illegal activities. You see the whole heap of revelation, exposure of even JDF soldiers, JCF inspectors being a part of, major drug bust investigation. You see everything play out now, even right after the entire general election. When you realize now, say all of a sudden they start to make more arrests in the whole SSL saga. These people have been watching them and looking on. I want to know how Uncle Sam work, Them not just say you do a thing and run in by yourself. Them give you a long rope for yourself, so to speak. Figuratively speaking, them give you a long rope for tie up yourself. These people will watch you for years upon years upon years doing the things them, and when they think that you have done enough with them can fully sink you. Them people no lock you up for you get out in a year or two. Them people when them a come for you, them pull out a whole long book. Them pull out all stops for you. So when them hold on for you and hang on for you, you never get away. You never get away. Or when them take how much plea deal and plea bargain, you never get away. Definitely, Sabria. Sabria says what they should do as top criminals is turn in themselves. Same like how them a call for other criminals to turn in themselves. They need to turn in themselves too. Release the Cole report, release the SSL report. too much financial fraud and theft taking place. Enough is enough. It is setting back our country. It is dampening the future generation to come. It a put a halt on for them progress. Right? A full time now. If them not in it for serve the people, no need to go. Bless up yourself, mass control. If you're not in it, I will see it clear as mud, as we would say back in my time when I was doing midwifery at the Kingston School of Nursing. When the tutor I give the lessons and we have the whole heap of notes them for write. And she said, clear? We say, yes, miss, clear as mud. Mass control says time coming for all of them. Keep the faith. God is not sleeping. Not at all. He never sleep nor slumber. He sits high and he looks low. Remember in the gone are the days when time people would have do the whole heap of illegalities and criminalities, you know. You know, we say, boy, we'll leave them to time. Or them own deeds are going to catch up on them, you know. For every action, there is a reaction. When you realize, say, the times, God, it seems as if God really shortened the days and night for the elect sake. Because when you realize, say, karma not take long again. Like, a whole heap of people have lost trust in the whole justice system, you know. But the justice system still works. And them can only pay them way as so much and no more. If you don't understand what I say. And every time them are going to get for pay out them way because money and everybody gullible. And everybody craving, like craving here. Right? And everybody will sweep things under a carpet just because of a dollar. And stifle the truth and stifle justice just because of a dollar. A whole heap of people, a whole heap of we still out here with integrity, a whole heap of we still out here with a desperate, and we not sell. We sell for no price, and we not sell with dignity, and we not sell with principles and morals, and we not sell with integrity, most of all, for no price. Right? And so, no matter how much money them can ever acquire, because them behave as if them are going to in a power forever, and them behave as if them are going to reign forever. But as me say, them karma and judgment not take long to reach them. The Almighty are going to show up and show out. Remember, you know, the Bible saying them nah give none of we more than what we can bear. And if we have the leaders them who are set in place to represent and to work on behalf of the people and they're not doing their duties, the Almighty now going to give us more than what we can bear. And when them feel as if them can take on a title as the word God and playing at the Almighty face, Him are going to cause all sorts of wrath and destruction to be upon the land. And even though the good people are amongst them, the good people are going to feel it, but the Almighty are going to spare with, and He's going to deal with them. Him are going to deal with them. Them not get away for too long. The Bible said the wicked, them are going to rise up. And they might flourish for a while. But them are going to withered. Them are going to withered. Them need for recruit themselves. We never seen nowhere else in no democracy where a prime minister is uncertified and still assume the role of a leader over a country. If you did have any form of integrity and respect for the country and the office that you held, you would have removed yourself. You can't be caught up in questionable acts of illicit enrichment and still put forward yourself on a ballot and want people to vote for you. right? And talking about third term for the people them. Every term should have been for the people them. Who was the first 2 terms for? We cannot allow color prevent us from seeing the truth and allow us to choose who we like and choose popularity instead of what is right. And oftentimes we come out and we speak against these things not being right for the leader to not be certified over 4 years now. And we are labeled as tearing down our country. We're labeled as bad mind. We're labeled as evil. We're labeled all sorts of things. We're labeled as propaganda. We're labeled as mis and disinformation. When the very fabric of them is disinformation. We cannot allow them to run our parliament as if they're running their household or they're running their children's lives that are young children. We have a say-so in who governs our country, and we have a say-so in how the country is governed, and we must stand up. We must stand up and stop looking at it from a political standpoint at all the times when it is just truth and right where I come from. We come from a place of truth and right. Not a place of orange or a place of green all the time. And they always seems to want to make it political. The people are tired of the oppressors. The people are tired of the ones who they elect, so to speak, them to govern, oppressing them. When a hospital can use their powers of tax exempt to bring in goods and services for private companies just so that they can not pay any form of customs, it is telling. It is telling. But if me and you are bringing one piece of equipment into the cost with an arm and a leg, these are the things that we're speaking up about. These are the things that we are passionate about. We want the people to come out and to stand with us. The Prime Minister is too brazen with his action. His very action will bring him down. He is full of ego and too much pride. He is not a humble man. Not at all. Him not no humility. Him no humble. Him come out. Post-Melista devastation, humanitarian crisis, come attack. Me not afraid of nobody. And I saw the man go on. Me not afraid of nobody. And as Sabria rightfully says, pressure bust pipe. One day carry the bucket go well, one day the bottom must drop out. Every day I carry it, one day the bottom must drop out. Too much corruption, too much nepotism, cronyism is taken away from the progression of the country, from the progression of the island. It's taken away from education. When them not thief and rob up and a right, false check and a right, fraud check and a right, this and a right, that, and them friends and combo load them a cash check. Who fear get $5,000 or $10,000 for cash check. Criminality at its highest. But they want to create this facade of him being the best prime minister. The worst prime minister in the history of Jamaica is Andrew. The worst prime minister in the history of Jamaica is him. Me not see nobody else who worse than him. Me not see nobody else who can top what him do. How can you feel comfortable sitting in our office, putting in on friends and combo them in position, strategically placing on friends and combo them in position? The man referred to the FID if he go deeper into his finances. And the man take up and put somebody where I'm friend in the post. And the man come back, come turn round and be the bullet in the gun and basically shoot himself in the foot by stating him stay away from the Prime Minister's affair. You should have stay away from the post too. Because no investigation is supposed to protect the person or the people. They're supposed to protect the investigation. The only thing that's supposed to be protected is the investigation from people tampering with it. We never know, say, people who's supposed to be the head of a department are say others are protect him from the investigation. Madness. And we sit down, sir. We sit down, sir. So prideful and so proud. Him not afraid of nobody. And that's why them deal with taxpayers' dollars like that. Millions and billions unaccounted for. Billions overrun for one hospital. We don't know when is the expected date of completion. We don't know. See, our next millionaire come and talk about FinSac. When we have a government who spent millions, hundreds of millions on the FinSac report and refuse to release the entire report, why don't you call on the Prime Minister to release the entire report? And while you're at it, call on him to release the beneficiaries list. Go and research and find out. I heard even a Colin Bell stating, go find out where or what the Prime Minister was doing during the era of FinSac. The FinSac was created so that investors could get back their money. What have they done for the people, the investors who lost their money in SSL? They're covering up and they're hiding all of these reports. Why don't you demand that these are the type of people that I'm speaking on? They come on people's life and all they can go back to is FinSac and FinSac and FinSac. What about FinSac? What is it about FinSac, Vernal? Talk up now, Vernal. Bless up yourself, Rumba Time News. What is it about FinSac? When you should be calling, you should be uniting with voices who are fighting for change and fighting for justice. To say, look here, man, millions and millions of taxpaying dollars paid for that FinSac report. Why not release all of it? You are the ones then, that's what I say. I don't know, how is it that you allow these people to battle for your mind to the point where you cannot analyze nothing for yourself? Out of many, big up yourself, my brother. Jamaica is past a crossroads. Jamaica is at a juncture where me don't know. It's just that I stated it before, the people them only seen colors. A popularity and colors, the people, most of them who supports the current government. That's all they see. They took taxpayers' money and paid for a report, and she's coming on my live, or he's coming on my live to talk about FinSac report, when all we have been calling for is the entire FinSac report. It is an indictment on them more than it is an indictment on the PNP. That is why they cannot release the FinSac, the full report. That is why the half-ass report that they put on the Ministry of Finance website. That is why a whole heap of things redacted out of it. After so much millions and millions and millions. But this is the Jamaica one seems to choose, and this is the Jamaica one seems to love. That's one man can be in governance, or a team of people can be in governance, and you have to wonder if them are Jesus Christ, because to some people they cannot make any error, they cannot make any blemish, they cannot do any wrongs. And so when we see them draw a card pan a Richard Azan back then and say, when him go in and pocket and, bypass, the time, if get the go ahead for get some stars out there for persons who, have them little, self-employed businesses. And him go in and pocket and him build up couple structures, about 7. And the same man where saying him are the leader of the country now, says a dark day. So what would you say today? What would you say today is when he's unable to speak on corruption? When he's unable to call out certain, when he's unable to fire some of the ministers who are when he's unable to recruit even himself. What do you call that? What do you call that? No, sir, we can't make it up. If those days were dark, what you call them days, yeah? My brother, King David would have said, a Grim Reaper days, them, yeah? Yeah? Grim Reaper days, them, yeah? So if those days were dark, and the man go in and pocket and take out his money, they never found him to take any taxpayers' money to build those stalls for the people. They never found him to be in any form of corruption. Right? But back then it was a dark day when someone who truly cares for the people go in and pocket, him go down in a theme pocket, the blood of Jesus. Him go down in a pocket and him do that for the people so that they can stay afloat. And those days were classified as dark days. What would you call this day when people still outside after a Cat 5 hurricane, still outside under tarpaulin, still outside getting wet? But they could take the catastrophe bond money, loan it out, the entire amount. When me said them could have lend JPS something, yes, them could have lend them between 75 to 80 million US and use the rest and sort out some of the people down at the west. And something bad that we say? And something bad that we say? For the always come on people life and go to is always FinSac. What about FinSac? Go and read. Go and read. Read it, make it a man. Themselves, they want to hide something from black man. Put it in a book. Put it in a book. No for no read, you just take hearsay and run up and down with the hearsay. Bless up yourself, Mark. Private company, we have majority of the shares. But yet still they're silent. They're silent on the 7% increase, which took effect in December. And remember, you are, make we know say a 6 month worth of increase are going to come. So when you brace on yourself for the whole heap of increases, then when you brace on yourself, I am not here to state that the government is responsible in building back every structure for everybody. People going to have to stand up and help themselves. Start them thing. If them can get assistance other places, they can do it from getting assistance from family members, whosoever who wants to donate and assist them, right? Them have to go get them step going, right? I'm not saying that the people must sit down, but what has the government really done for the people? What has they stated that they spent 225 million on care packages alone? Many of us are asking where? When? And they're taking credits and partnering, taking data from other charity programs and partnering it with what they said they did. Well, watch them because we don't want millions and billions out of this to be unaccounted for. We have to keep our eyes on them. They cannot be trusted. This is a low trust government. Them not make the people them trust them. Them not make the people them have any faith in them. Because if the head of the stream is not clean, we have a tainted man at the helm of governance. Right? They are creating all sort of committee this and committee that. And they want to shut out as much as possible. They don't need no opposition. They want to shut out the opposition. Now we cannot allow that, because if there is no opposition, it's not a democratic country. Right? A dictatorship thing. So what does, or what will the people say about all of this? Will the people continue to sit down and calling out or calling upon the opposition only, when we have the right, just as the opposition, to hold them to account and to demand transparency and to demand our tax dollars are being spent? It's supposed to spend for benefit us. Them run with the nurses, them, and know them want them back. What can go so? They will learn the hard way that the grass is not green on the always green on the other side. Right? Some of the best nurses, and it's not because I'm Jamaican I'm saying that, some of the best nurses were trained and came from Jamaica. And them say if them can't accept the pay with them and give them, when them took 300 and 200% increase, enough of them in our parliament now do nothing. Enough of them in our parliament from them go gain and garner the people them support and go buy out the people them not see them back till another election cycle. Right? Enough of them now pull no weight. The Minister of Health should have been fired time and time again. He should have been fired. Whole heap of things happening under his watch. Right? But the nurses them shouldn't ask for nothing more. The public sector workers them shouldn't ask for nothing more. They must continue. Oh, don't think about the pay. Think about the patients. After we not alley button, we not work for nothing, we not alley button. We not make nobody come use we and take advantage of us. For your work, you must get paid. And if we have a public sector workers, they must get decent, livable wages. So they can show up at work and them can... Look here. If you, in a technical and most times a tedious post, look at even the police officers, even the JDF soldiers. Whether one can say, oh, them off duty, or is my day off today or tomorrow my day off. They're never truly off duty. An essential worker is never truly off duty. Because back in my time when I was at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital, we had a thing where them call it on call. So even if you're on call on your days off and them call you, you have to go. If hurricane come and you're scheduled for work and you're there at the workplace and you're trapped there, you have to stand there. I have worked through hurricanes. 3 days straight. We would have learned that the hurricane are going to come, yes. And we pack up and it's like we are saying, well, we're not sure if we're going to come home till a couple of days time. And we pack up with stuff them. We pack with little undergarments, we pack, snacks and little juice, and we pack excess water in our little lunch kit, and we're gone. And the juggling, because we are essential workers and we love the job and we care for patients them. But loving and care for the patients them cannot pay your mortgage. Loving and care for the patients them cannot pay your bills. So it takes cash to care, and if you want the people them to show up to the work and do it to the optimal and the best of their ability, you have to put your money where your mouth there. You have to pay the people them. Or you know want big work on the nurses them to take, the public sector workers them to take little or nothing. A law enforcement officer, whether I'm off duty yes or no, is never truly off duty. They have to constantly watch themselves and watch them head. So why mustn't they get good pay? I'm vouching also. We've been a vouch for the teachers then. We've been a vouch. And today we just get up on social media and talk. A long time we have vouched for the public sector workers them. And we have said them deserve good pay. So when you run them and talk but we enough watch pay. If them can't do what them supposed to do, them for left it. Hmm? Left it. So when the people them go in a greener pastures now and them a get better pay than what is being offered to them. You expect them to go left from the greener pastures for come back. Uno say uno choose Jamaica with every drop of a dime. Uno people them run gone here, there and everywhere because of the pay. Hmm? They make it seem as if a Nigel alone IMF did call. A whole heap of other finance minister the IMF did call. And them could have run gone just the same. But they chose to serve their country. So I want to know if him really expect a whole heap of people want to return to the island, but when them a wreck it and a mash it up so, where the people them a come home to, where the people them a come to. Hmm? They strayed away from the mandate as it relates to NHT. A BFE. Me come across an article over the apartment. I'm not sure, I never read through all of it. But anybody who came across it, I'm not sure if a one bedroom of it is 50 million or for the entire structure with them bill for 50 million, because that couldn't write. That couldn't write at all. But then again, that the tall rising building, there couldn't be 50 million when we hear a Juliet Oles a bill apartment for 800 million. Hmm? So it couldn't be 50 million. So I want to know if I one of them room there are for 50 million. No, sir. Something needs to be done. Something needs to be done. Yes, him not saying did I go to Philippines, but then again, me did I look pan it in and I said it on a previous live, you know, me I say him I go to Philippines and him I go to all sort of country. Right after them run and tell the nurse and them for go on. Them not decide to give them no more money upon them pay, right? Them run them and tell them for go on and know the people them they are green pensions. Him saying did I go, him they all over wasting with taxpayers' money, him fly here, there, everywhere, same I look nurses and from Philippines and all about. But me know say language barrier go come into play. Language barrier, whole heap of things they're not accustomed and then they're going to have to pay those people the arm and the leg where them now want to pay we the Jamaican healthcare workers. Hmm? So that me I try to show you. Say them a talk about choose Jamaica, them choose foreigners. Long time them choose foreigners, them say foreigners. If you never know, them say them love foreigners. This a government they love foreigners. So we need a time now for the whole heap of yap tap. What is this? A full time for action, but then when the protests, the peaceful protests are called, many persons still not showing up. Many persons still not, taking the time to go and lend their voices and to stand in solidarity and make them see say. Hmm? How them for lend out taxpayers' money and then we incur a 7% increase for electricity bill? And the people them not take to the street, go flood up the garden house, flood garden house, flood up away the prime minister there. Hmm? People them just take it with a grain of salt. We can't so nonchalant. We can't just sit down and make them feel like them win at all times. Hmm? We can't talk about fear. I want somebody who for fear in the Almighty if you believe in the Almighty. Because Him have the power to do all things. And Him have the power to stop all things. So we need to, whatever power we feel like we give these politicians, we need to take it back from them. We need to take it back from them. But if you're family and viewers, I have to run go on the road right now, you know. To be honest with you, I have to run go on the road to sort out something for my daughter. So I would love to spend some more time on the live, but I've spoken now for about an hour and a half, so Megan, me say, speak up yourself every time. So I have to jump off now and run go on the road to come back before night come down, and then she have this massive amount of homework every day, but I don't mind, you know. Sometimes I'm tired being out still with the whole heap of homework them with the school them I give out. You know, it's needed. For the children them need to get homework. Some of them too free and idle. You know, parents have to work and all of that and to make ends meet, bills to pay, food to provide for them and all of that. So it's good when, you know, them get the homework and we see we can, you know, monitor their progress as well. We can't leave up everything on teachers. Alright, so we're there everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming on board. Thanks for the continued support. I can't say it enough. On the road to 50K, help me to get there. Like and share with the live videos them. Like and share with the regular videos them. Whatever is posted, if you agree with it, you leave a like and share it out so that YouTube can send it out. You know? The algorithm thing slow down right now as it relates to YouTube. So once you all can come on board and play a part on the videos them, you know, it's greatly appreciated. For those who want to join the membership, you can feel free to do so in support of the channel. Right? You have a set of persons they might want to donate off the ear, they might donate on the platform. You know, just to keep, you know, us going and just to keep us, you know, motivated to go on. Because we have a whole lot of bills to pay, we have internet bills to pay, we have a whole lot of stuff just to, you know, sit down, do research, get information to bring it to you. And so, even joining the membership will be greatly appreciated. You can click the join button, join the membership, you get a badge beside your name after you've been a member for over a month. And we'll continue to grow the family. So stay tuned for more videos, stay tuned for more updates, whether it's live or regular videos. Stay tuned. Your girl, Anisabel Rose here. Just letting you guys know that the word is and will always be loved. So stay safe. Let us keep our eyes open, our ears on the ground. And big up to all of my sources them who are giving me the information. Love you know. Respect to all the ABR members as well. Moderators, love you know. Stay tuned. Big up to yourself, everybody.